Hello YouTube, we are back on the channel. It's time to start getting some videos out there. I am using my Sony camera, but I am going to be getting a Digi to make it a lot easier for myself, and I can just keep this one for the gym, which is really, really exciting. I can't wait to get that. It'll just be so much easier to record, I think, because they're so small, aren't they? Anyway, today is Wednesday and I have a busy day. I've been for my morning walk as always. I've had meal one, which I can put a photo up on the screen with the macro breakdown for you there. I have no carb meals at the beginning of my training day and my rest days, purely for insulin sensitivity, as post-show we've had quite a few health issues arise in that regard, and also with my menstrual cycle, which I have had one that has returned 11 months post-show. So this month we are hoping that I'm going to get another one. Everyone cross your fingers and toes for me, because I really want that to come so I can, you know, be sure that I can compete the end of next year. Anyway, I've had my meal one. I have replied to some messages, and then I have my friend coming around to do my hair, which I can't wait. I didn't realise that the last time I got my hair done was before my first show in September last year, which is wild. So it's been a very long time, well overdue. Can't wait to get my dark locks back and a trim. And then I'm going to the gym straight after that to train upper, because then I have an in-person posing lesson with my lovely client Lara, which is really exciting. She's going to be competing next year. I have just completed her first diet, which was very, very successful. She did an incredible job. She moved over from powerlifting to bodybuilding and wanted to find that love, that spark, that enjoyment for training again. So she reached out to me and we did exactly that. She fucking loves the gym again now. She has a much better relationship with her food. Before she was eating just 3 meals a day. Now she's eating 5 meals a day, and she's lost weight. She looks a lot leaner. She's sent over training clips. We've got her form all perfected, and she's just thrived in the process, and I'm very, very proud of her. So I can't wait to start building. We entered the reverse yesterday, and we're going to add on a shit ton of muscle for then prepping next year to do some shows at the end of the year, which is really, really exciting stuff for her and for myself. And that's about it, guys. I just can't wait to get my hair done. I'll probably do a bit of an off-season update, to be honest, towards the end of this video maybe. There's a few things to update on, but essentially I'm just still pushing up, well, staying where I am until I have a regular cycle. Then we can do a pre-prep and then push up again a little bit, and then do a prep for the end of next year, where I will be doing the pro show in the finals at the end of the year, the PCA pro show, and then I will be doing a regional for tick box, and then a run of pro qualifiers, which is fucking wild, but really, really exciting. So that is a little update for me. I'm going to get on with a little bit of work before Lauren arrives in 30 minutes. And I shall see you when I'm back to the dark side. My hair is all done. What do we think? I am back to the dark side. I had it freshly coloured and then trimmed. If you did not know, I used to be bleach blonde, and Lauren reckons my bleach is maybe around here now. So that's 2 years of growing it. So we're still bleached underneath here. Obviously it's just got brown on top, which is really good because I have been trying to grow it out for so long now. Anyway, I started eating before I got the camera out, but I'm having my pre-workout meal now, which is 85 grams of uncooked white rice, 75 grams of pineapple, 100 grams of chicken, 100 grams of veg, 20 grams of honey, and 20 grams of 90% dark chocolate, which is in a little plastic bag packed because I didn't know if today how much of a rush I was going to be in and where I was going to be. So last night I just prepped my pre and my post meal. Post meal is cream of rice, which is 100 grams of cream of rice, 35 whey, and berries, which I just need to put on top as well. And I will be taking that with me because I'll be doing the gym, my posing lesson, and then I want to go get my nails done as well. I do have sourdough with that meal, but it's not as easy to take with me. So I'm going to just put that in my fourth meal as well. So I can have avocado on top of it, which is just moving it over, which there is no issue with doing that. So I am gonna finish eating this meal. Really, really delicious actually. I'm really enjoying this. And pop on YouTube video. I'm actually watching Lydia and Cinzia's, it's on Lydia's channel, Lydia's vlog, about their holiday to Saint-Tropez. I love Sophia and Cinzia, watching them. So I'm going to continue doing that, enjoy every bite, and then get to the gym on really good timing, so I'm very happy. I'm all ready for the gym and I'm going to make my pre-workout drinks, or my intro drink as well. So for my intro, I just have some HydroFlow, which I will pop in here. You can use code HeidiB for money off Conte Sports. This is one of my OG favourite flavours, which is orange soda. It is delightful. If you have not had this flavour, then you definitely need to get on it. Hydration and electrolytes are incredibly important in your diet, especially if you are training, so we can replenish ourselves for our recovery, for our cognitive function, and for our performance. Very, very important. Non-negotiable for me every single day. And then I'm also going to have my Mega Pump Elite in raspberry twist flavour, which is my favourite non-stim pre-workout meal. You get the best pump from this. So I'm just going to put a scoop and a bit in that and drink that quickly before I head off for the gym. Maybe I'll record some bits and then I can pop it in the video for you. I've already had my creatine and my L-glutamine today, so I don't need to put that in there. And that's pretty much it. I've got back and delts and arms, my only upper session of the week, so we're going to make it count. And that's pretty much everything. Yeah, I will go through a little bit of an update, talk about my training later on, because I only train 4 times a week now instead of 5, which is for health reasons really, to reduce the stress on my body whilst we recover and like get my cycle back regular. But probably stay at 4 anyway, because I don't need to be doing 5. Realistically, like I'm progressing more now than I ever have and recovering a lot better than I ever have just with 4 sessions. So more is not always best. You don't need to be in the gym training, strength training, lifting weights 5 times a week to make the progress that you want to make. I can't believe that I'm now doing 4, to be honest. Still, it's kind of crazy because I'm always used to be doing 5. However, now I couldn't think of anything else. That was delightful. Now let's go. I just had a very, very successful upper body session. Actually, probably one of the best upper body sessions I've had in a while. I think my camera's gonna die, but it's now time to eat my post. I just wanted to show you quickly before my camera did die, and also posing with Lara was really, really good too. We went through quarter turns, and she's really, really getting good at her flow now, which is fab, from transitioning from pose to pose. So very, very happy with how that went. I did prepare my cream of rice yesterday. So we have 100 cream of rice, we have 35 whey. I'm gonna put 150 berry on there, 50 banana and 50 grams of sourdough, salt, cinnamon. Eat this up and then edit a load of videos that I have recorded in the gym, put some on my story, make a post, onboard a client, send out some how-to videos for the OneFit app, because I have transferred over from Google Sheets to OneFit, which is super, super exciting. I just think for my girls, it's going to be a lot easier for them to navigate. Also for me, for making adjustments to their plan, therefore making the experience just a lot more enjoyable, easy, accessible for them, which is obviously what I want. So that's the plan of the afternoon. Steps, work, eat, every single day, what I do, which is super exciting. So I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to eat this food and enjoy it. So apparently I filmed this whole thing in slow motion with no audio, so I'm doing a voiceover here, but I had to leave it in because it's actually quite funny. So this is my meal for, and I was on the phone to Mikey as well as I was eating and making this meal. But I have 270, I just can't stop laughing at this video, 275 grams of potato, my 50 grams of sourdough, my 30 grams of avocado, my 120 grams of mince, and 50 gram of veg. And then I also did mention in a moment that I have my water. Like, look how cinematic this looks. Wow. Oh my God, this is just brilliant. Wow. And I have my water, which has my electrolytes in it, which looks like piss. But you know what? It does the fucking job. Anyway, we'll get onto a clip where I can actually talk in it now. Bye. So the last clip you just saw was me in slow motion doing a voiceover because I was recording in slow motion, which was really, really annoying. But I was showing you my meal 4. I have still not ate my meal 5 and it is 8:30 at night, but I am just finishing up with some work bits. And I also did want to, obviously said I was going to explain a little bit about my off season and a little bit of an update about, I guess, my post-show experience. It was my first post-show experience and I'll be honest, it was incredibly hard. Not in the way of kind of gaining weight and sticking to the plan, in the way of I wasn't allowing myself to live, and I would feel like a failure if I did live. And I felt that every single action I was doing was going to determine if I was going to achieve the next goal, when I didn't actually realize that my potential was ever going to be the next goal when I first ever decided to compete. You know, my goals for my first season were to step onto stage and to see if I enjoy it. And then I won every single show but one, and then beat that girl and won my pro card in the next show that I did. And that was a whirlwind and a half. I'm obviously incredibly grateful for everything, but I'm not stupid to the fact that I was very naive to this sport when I went into it. And, you know, it's a serious, not naive to the fact that not naive to the work that you have to do, not naive to how post-show can be, but naive to the fact that, like, people are really fucking serious about this shit. And I wasn't that person. Like, I was going to have a good time. Do you know what I mean? And I was never striving to win. Like, okay, yeah, obviously it's nice to win. Everyone wants to win. But I wouldn't be butthurt if I didn't win, okay? And then I achieved what I achieved. And I was like, okay, shit, like, I can take this seriously. And I just felt a lot of pressure, I guess, that I then had to show up as this human being on social media, that I am this perfect athlete. When I do everything that I need to do, and I now live my life a little bit more, which helps me in my bodybuilding journey. But I felt that I couldn't share that I was struggling because I have to be this perfect athlete online. When in reality, that wasn't the case. I was doing everything I need to do, but I was struggling with the fact that I felt all this pressure, that I didn't know if I actually wanted to continue bodybuilding at one point because it was a lot on my mind. Just like your life goes from caring only solely about your prep. All I cared about prep was my prep. Like, nothing else bothered me, genuinely, which is something that I will not allow next time, because that is not okay. Life still goes on. But it was really tough towards the end. You know, I was lean, stage lean for a long, long time throughout my shows, and I had no function in my brain or anything. So all I cared about was my prep. Come out of prep, then that goes away. And it's really difficult to reintegrate yourself back into life. And it just took a while for me to navigate that. And the only thing that allowed me to get where I am now, where I can just chill out a little bit more with my routine, and if my meal timing's off a little bit, it's okay. If my 6,000 steps aren't done before 7 a.m, it's okay. You know, if one training session isn't the best, it's okay. Which, those are all the things which I would panic about every single time before. The only thing that's allowed me to get to this point now is time and just adjusting again. Like, there is no quick fix, or there's no secret post-show to be like, I'm going to be normal again, because that isn't the case. You need to get your body healthy. You need to get that function back to your brain. You need to eat your food. You need to slowly integrate life back in, and don't rush it, and don't put that pressure on yourself that everything needs to feel normal again, because you can't expect that of yourself when you have just basically lived a restricted life for 6 months. Whilst also your cognitive function is completely gone and your hormones are all over the place. You know, it's a serious thing. So that was kind of, I guess, a little brief overview of my post-show. It was quite hard mentally for me. And then I worked really, really hard at the beginning of this year to just purely get that enjoyment back and just see training for just my joy of what I started it for in the first place, which was just because I love training. It makes me feel confident, it makes me feel great, it grounds me, it's my escape in the day. And I had to rewire that every single session isn't about going to get the next goal, because I'd go into that session and think, right, this glute drive set is going to determine if I get that goal, which now I do still, now I think that, but at that time, when I was struggling a little bit, I had to completely wipe those thoughts out, and I had to think like, right, I'm just going in to enjoy this session, nothing about anything else. Now, because I'm feeling a lot better, I do go into my sessions a lot of the time and think, right, this is for the next time you're on stage. This is, you know, when that's fine. There's a time and a place for having those type of thoughts. And right now I'm fine with having those thoughts, and they're not overwhelming me, you know? So yeah, I guess that was a brief overview of kind of my post-show. Not all of it was hard. Like, I enjoyed, you know, obviously seeing my friends and going out for some food here and there, and, you know, getting a brain back and being able to enjoy life more. And I joined Tim, which was amazing. I joined him in, I think it was the end of January. We've been working together for around, I think, 18 weeks now, and it has just been, it's been kind of a limbo, to be fair. He's been great, like, it's been absolutely amazing, but it's just been a limbo with my health. Like, we've just been doing absolutely everything we can do to get my health back on track. And I did get my first cycle last month for 4 days, so hopefully this month we get it again. I mentioned that again briefly, and then also trying to bring my blood glucose levels lower, as they are a little bit high at the moment. So we've got things in place to help that also. Along with my cycle, I just had to reduce my stress, my own stress, quite a lot, which was hard. But now uni's finished, period, I'm a lot less stressed, so that's also good. I actually graduate soon if I pass, lol, fingers crossed again. I also only train 4 times a week instead of 5, so glutes and delts, lower delts, upper glutes and delts, so a proper bikini girl split, which I fucking love. I adore it. I've made a lot more progress and I have grown loads, which I'm super, super happy about. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed. But my volume is also very low at the moment still for my cycle and recovery and health, which is a bit shit, but like, you know, volume is very individual. You don't have to be doing loads, and if I can recover and train well and progress well and grow on the volume that I've got, then so be it. That's okay. You know, I'd rather have 2 sets or 1 set, which I have on some things, give it my fucking all, than rather have 3 and them just not benefit me at all, right? So that's kind of a bit of an update. Yeah, as I said, post-show, kind of what I'm doing training-wise, and then plans for the future. Hopefully we can do a pre-prep or like a diet towards the end of summer, and then enter another little push-up or maintenance phase, don't know what Tim will do, and then enter prep for shows at the end of the year, which is actually really exciting, which is something that I didn't think I'd say for a long time, after, you know, my post-show and kind of my season. Like, my next season in my head is massive. I just feel a lot of pressure, really, but as an athlete, it's up to me to direct that pressure in positive ways rather than let it weigh me down. You know, it's good to have pressure, it's at times, but as long as you don't let it overtake your mind and you deal with it in the correct ways, which I have been really, really working on. So I'm proud of myself for that. Anyone who's done a prep, anyone who's done a post-show, you know, be proud of yourself, because it's fucking hard sometimes, and we do this for fun and it's tough at times, but we fucking come out of it as a different human being, in my opinion. And I just can't wait to do another prep with the experience that I've already had and go into it just knowing more what's going to happen. I have expectations, I guess, and also going into it with the lessons that I've learned and the things that I also want to do better in my next prep in regards to, in my prep, I did everything to plan. Like, I didn't go off plan once, you know, I did everything. So that's fine. But in regards to relationships, work, family, I need to be better with that going to my next one, which is fine. This is why, you know, we go through these things, we learn and we implement them into our life in the future, which is the whole point of life, I guess. We go and we learn, don't we? So yeah, that's a good little waffle, wasn't it? I'm going to probably edit this bit now, put it in the video, and then make my food, and then show you my food, and then go to bed. It's now 20 to 9, but I kind of just love this room and love just sitting doing things on my laptop, so I ain't gonna leave. Yeah. Do you like my little... I framed my pro card. Can you see? She's cute. It is time for meal 5, and for my meal 5 on a training day, I have 65 grams of oats, and I like to use rolled oats. I don't like the jumbo ones. Get away from me if you use the big fat chunky oats. What do you mean you don't want a nice bowl of slop before bed and you are having to on that shit? Not for me. The protein powder I'm gonna go for is, again, my triple chocolate whey from Conte. I do have some chocolate caramel on the way. I also have the cookie and cream one at the moment and the cinnamon swirl one at the moment. They are both all delicious. So we have 35 grams of whey in that. And then I also have 20 gram almond butter, but I'm cheeky. If Tim sees this, I'm sure he won't mind. He won't see this, but 10 gram of dark chocolate I do, and then I also do 10 gram of almond butter because I flipping love dark chocolate. Sorry, but if I can have that, I'm gonna have that. I'm off season, bruv. And then I have 100 gram of blueberry. So that is the meal. Delish. Thank you. I've also re-upped on my cinnamon, guys. There was no sweet cinnamon though in Aldi. Obviously, they don't sell it. And that's the best, I fear. I'm gonna finally get my nails done. I have been on my biab journey, girls, and I grew them out really, really long. And I had they literally look like acrylics. And then some of them broke, so then I had to chop them down again and get them redone. But now they have grown again. Can you see this length? Yeah. So tomorrow I'm gonna just shape them up a bit, get them a bit shorter and do a French square rounded tip, I think. I'm going for that vibe. I'm gonna get my toes done. So I'm gonna get to the gym, do my session, go straight to the nail salon, get that done, come back and just fuck about and find out, work and have a good time. I like to do my oats in the pan. I have been experimenting with the microwave, but my microwave seems to be on one, she's strong. So they explode. I don't want exploded oats. At night time, I just want to eat and get into bed and watch my program and eat. I don't want to be dealing with oats. Right, shall I try and show you this? Look at that flipping shot. Here we go. Why is Ned yakking up? Are you right, baby? I think Ned's rejecting the smell of the oats. Bless him. Hard life, isn't it, for him? Look at that. Delish. Wow. Yeah, break it up a little bit. If you spill protein powder on the floor, you can just move it around a bit and it goes away. Little hack. Who's getting the Hoover out? Not me. 10 gram of almond butter. And then 100 gram of bloobs. They always escape from these little holes. It's so jarring. What's your favourite fruit? Comment below. Yeah, comment below what your favourite fruit is, and then I'll know if you've stayed to the end of the video. You know what? I'm going to make that a thing. I'm going to see who my real fans are. No, we're not fans. We're a team. Team. Sorry, I've not got pink salt still. A bit of cinnamon. There we go. There is meal 5 on a training day. I'm gonna eat this and get into bed. Well, I'm gonna get into bed and then eat. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and comment and subscribe to stay tuned for more videos coming. We are gonna be on a roll. My goal is 2 a week. Putting that out there so I actually flipping do it, okay? And I'm just excited to start sharing more again, finally, properly this time. We're taking this seriously. Now I'm not at university, I don't have any excuses, so hold me accountable. Comment below what your favourite fruit is, like and subscribe, share, everything, and it doesn't go unnoticed, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. See ya, good night.